Boo! Scared you. It's really close to Halloween, so just thought that I'd hit you with a ooh. If you can see, I'm all dressed up. As in, I found a alt skin for the skin that I usually use. See, the way that I think is normally people during Halloween they dress up as ghouls and ghosts and beasts and goblins. So I was like, what's a good Halloween costume? Well, a beast. I like beasts, you know, Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast! And I was like, you know, I could be a hype beast. So I'm wearing the antisocial social club skin version of my skin. Because, you know, I will drain all... No, it's vampire. I will drain all of the money out of your bank account. I'm trying to do an American accent. I will drain all the money out of your bank account. Ooh. I love this clip from this, like, you know the, how much your shoes got? How much? $2,000? $20? $2 million? You know, those kind of videos? There was a guy and he was like lining up. And he was lining up for the thing, and then they were like, so how do you make all your money? He's like, I accept my parents' money, pocket money. It's like, brother, like, oh yeah, you know, you accept it. So you're doing them a favor by, you know, just accepting it. You know, they don't have to give it to you, but you don't have to accept it either. You know, you just not go. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's so fucking stupid. It's so funny. Yeah. Happy Halloween. Almost. The day this is coming out, and also the day I'm filming isn't Halloween. So I mean, I'm not going to be doing an episode on Halloween, so I thought that I might as well just like celebrate Halloween as if I don't know how I feel about Halloween. On one hand, I do quite enjoy how it doesn't have any sort of religious tones to it. Because one thing I hate about Christianity is how not everyone can, or not Christianity, sorry. What I don't like about Christmas and Easter is that not everyone can celebrate it. Like, I have a friend who's a Jehovah's Witness, and, you know, like, I just wish that Christmas wasn't about Christianity, because then it would be the sort of much more, it would be a group thing, right? It's like, it's like, you know, everyone can enjoy it. I wish that Christmas was less, and it is pretty much about seeing your family, right? It's about going around, seeing your family, enjoying, but because it has like this whole Christianity thing tied to it, not everyone can enjoy it, and, my friend can't celebrate it with his family, so they might still meet up over the holidays, but it's not an event really. They can't celebrate Christmas, which I think sucks, because, you know, it would be cool if it was sort of... And also, I feel like I've tried to explain this, but one of the reasons why I dislike Christianity and religion... Well, we're starting off today's episode hot. Oh! Nah, one reason why I dislike sort of Christianity is because, how do I say it? I feel like it takes away from the nuance of humanity. This is going to sound really weird, but listen to me. I feel like it's very basic. Like, everyone prays God, everyone has a cross in their house, everyone reads the Bible. It's like, you know, formulas and grids. I explained it in the video, in the Yuri video, when I was talking about the Nach Sama manga. It's like you're following a formula, which immediately takes away from the originality. So when everyone is doing the same thing, it's sort of boring. It's literally formulaic. It's kind of boring. That's what I hate about it. So it would be kind of cool if, instead of Christmas being about Christianity and being about God and these things that don't actually exist, instead it was about sort of the human celebration of family and being together and being happy with people, which not everyone can relate to that. There are a lot of people who are in, and hey, you know, a few years ago I could have even counted myself in that sort of sect of people who even dislike their family. But, you know, family's not an all-purpose perfect thing, but, you know, it'd be still be cool if we could celebrate it in a way, and in a way that was, I just wish that it was official, because it's pretty much official. Like, you know, everyone celebrates Christmas with their family. No one actually does anything that has to do with Jesus or the Bible. It's mostly just about Santa and stuff. But it would be cool if everyone could celebrate it, as I've explained just before. Yeah, but circling around, that's one good thing about Halloween. I don't think it has any ties to like Christianity and stuff, so people can still celebrate it. I think some people can't still. I'm not super sure. I don't know. I don't think, like, Christmas is very obviously about Jesus, Easter is about Jesus, but I don't think Halloween, I'm pretty sure it was like fend off ghoulish spirits. So that's why we costume up, and that's why we put the pumpkins outside, which were originally turnips, and terrifying and honestly better than the pumpkins we have. Like, pumpkins are cool and all, but you set up some of them fucking turnips, the faced turnips. You're good. You're actually, no one's gonna come trick or treat to your house because it's terrifying. I think it's fun. We don't really celebrate it. We explained this last episode, but we don't really celebrate Halloween in New Zealand, which kind of sucks because I think Halloween's really, really cool. But I think it's just the way that New Zealand is set up. We have residential areas, obviously, but they're really busy next to roads and stuff, and it's sort of just much more awkward to celebrate Halloween. Also, there's a lot of areas, like in America, for instance, I feel like every state has a very active amount of people in it, whereas in New Zealand, not every place has like a whole load of kids and stuff in a really tight-knit community. I don't really know how to explain it in a way that makes sense. You sort of have to just live it, which isn't something everyone can do. But it's like you really couldn't go outside and just go up to random people's houses and ask for candy. It's not something that's possible in New Zealand. We have, gates and stuff, and not everyone knows each other, and there's a whole lot of different cultures, and racism isn't a massive thing, but racism is still something that's a thing that exists in New Zealand, even though we're fairly accepting. So that kind of sucks. But I still enjoy Halloween, even if it's just on the internet. I like the ghoulish experience. It's scary, it's scary, and there's like, you dress up. I like that aspect of it quite a lot. You dress up. Me and Sam are gonna do a Halloween stream. I'm sort of debating whether or not I want to do it on my Halloween or America's Halloween, because unfortunately, just how it is, America is just sort of like, how do I say this? America is what you have to just sort of live by, even if you don't live in America when you're on the internet, because that's where the most people are. That's where a lot of things deviate from. So I'm not even going to bother asking people to put it in the comments, because no one does. But I'll have to just decide on my own, I guess. I guess I'll just decide on my own on whether or not I want to do it on mine. I think I might do it on mine, because I have Halloween free, I know that, and then the next day I don't have work the next day, but I have to work after, and I don't know if I want to be up streaming the day before. I don't know. So I'll figure it out. But yeah, and I'm going to go buy a costume. I was going to go buy a costume, but I don't have money right now, and I'm getting my money on Halloween, like on the 31st is when I get my paycheck. So I could like wait for my paycheck to come in, then run down to the store. But then I was like, I could just... Okay, I'm not going to spoil it, actually. I don't want to spoil it, but I have other ideas. I have other ideas that I could do instead, so it's not a big deal. I wanted to get a costume, and I mean, I have the cross-dressing stuff, but that doesn't count. It's not really a costume, and I've already done it a million times, so no one wants to see that anymore. Yeah, I have to figure out when to do it as well, because like everyone in America is awake at like the morning for me, so I can't do it at night as much as I want to, because no one's gonna show up, unfortunately. Yeah, it's pretty much everything. I have a couple things to say. I'll talk about the Beastars video, because I don't feel like I feel like it's important that I catch everyone up on it. So I did a community post a little while, like yesterday or the day before, and it was essentially just saying I'm working on it, but it's behind schedule right now, because I have a weird thing where I really struggle to make something when I'm about to finish something else. It's weird. Essentially, I want something to be done so that I don't have to split my attention, and it's really weird. So I was about to finish school, and I was really struggling to get the B-Star stuff written, but school's now over, except for exams, but those don't really count, because I got really good mock exam results. I got, the video, the Getting Political in the Space Train, which I'm not sure many people saw, but Getting Political in the Space Train, I got a merit in English, merit in drama, excellence in media studies, which is like the best mark, the middle mark, and the middle mark. So, and that was from no studying. That's just from knowledge. So if I do study, which I probably won't do, but I can get those scores again if I wanted to, or maybe one lower, maybe one higher. We don't really know. Sort of. Regardless, I'm definitely going to pass pretty much all my exams. I don't even need the credits anyway, so if I failed all them, I would be fine. Yeah, so I'm done with school, and it's a really weird feeling. I was talking with Sam about this. So I finished a couple days ago, and on the last day of school, so it was the Thursday. So on the last day of school, I had to go. So my friends, Jester wanted to go see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and he invited me and Sam. He was going with his friend, and it was on Thursday as well, so it was on my last day of school, and it was like 2 hours after I finished school, so I had to or 3 hours actually, so I had to rush from my house onto the bus, get home, get changed, and rush straight away. So I didn't even get any time to be home after my last day of school. I was pretty much straight away going somewhere else entirely. We got there, we watched the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I won't review it here because I don't think anyone gives a shit, but it was fine. It's very much a fan service movie. It's kind of like the Mario movie in that sense, but the Mario movie felt very corporate and it was made by Illumination. But the FNAF movie feels very for the fans. Very, very strange. When Matapat came on screen and said, "But that's just a theory, a game theory," I lost my mind. I came in my pants. So I think it's a shame Markiplier wasn't in it, but that was apparently due to scheduling issues with his movie that he's making. Blah 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 blah. You get what I'm trying to say. But we went and watched that, and that was interesting. That was fun. I enjoyed that. And the thing about the cinema we went to the Silky Otter. So that's a fucking weird ass name if you don't live in New Zealand. So we have 3 main cinemas in New Zealand. There's the Event Cinema. That's a massive one, big one. That's the most, like, if you came to New Zealand from America and you went to Event Cinema, it'd be like a normal cinema, I think. Then there's I forget the name of the other one. No one. We have Event Cinema number 2. It's like, it's a different name, but it's the exact same fucking thing. It's just 2 competing ones. The only one that's different is the third one, which is Silky Otter, and it's different because it's much more. It's like the rich person's one, but also not really, because it's not any more expensive. The difference is that you can. Popcorn's more expensive, soda's more expensive, and they have like exquisite soda, and you can buy full-on fucking meals that they come and deliver to you with a little light to eat while you watch the movie, which Jester actually does do. Like, I'd say did, but he does do it. We've been to the Silky Otter multiple times, and he always buys a fucking meal. I don't want to do that because fucking cinema meals are shit-ass and expensive. It's a fucking airplane flight meal, and also it's sort of like, I don't want to sit there and eat a full-ass meal while I'm trying to enjoy a movie. I'd rather have little snacks to snack on, like, I don't know, maybe a popcorn or soda, I don't buy popcorn or soda at the things anyway. They're way too expensive. But we didn't eat that, but Jester and his friend did, so we had to split ways as well. Me and Sam don't live near each other, but we have to take the same path to get home. He just has to go off at a stop earlier than me. So we stopped off at Newmarket, and that's where he gets off, and I have to take a whole nother train to get home. But he was like, we were saying, he was like, he's actually kind of hungry. I'm kind of hungry. It's my last day of school. I don't have to be home. I don't even have to be home. Like, I don't have to come home tonight. I will, obviously, but that's how much I'm free. So I was like, do you want to just go to Ajisen Ramen and get some food? And he was like, actually, yeah, that sounds good. So we went to his house, and then we got back, and then we went to Ajisen Ramen, and we bought some, and we ate it. It was really, really nice, as Ajisen Ramen always is. And if you're like, why do you guys always go to Ajisen Ramen? What are you, fucking weebs? It's like the only good restaurant in New Zealand, in Auckland, that we know of. Now, okay, there are obviously good restaurants, there's good food in other places, but because of New Zealand's supply and demand, us being an island, other food is super, super fucking expensive. Like, the import costs and just general, like, capitalism moment, things are way more expensive than they should be, to the point where, like, pancakes cost like $20 at this shop in Cornwall Park. It's a fucking scam. Like, I can make pancakes in my house for, like, less than $1, and they taste better, and they're, like, easier to make, and they're faster and more convenient, and it's like, I'm ranting. I think I've already talked about this as well. So, I think the reason why Ajisen Ramen is so cheap is because, one, it derives from Japanese culture, which normally has a much more emphasis on fairness. Like, things are just cheaper in Japan, not because things are cheaper to get in Japan, but because, actually, yeah, things probably would be cheaper to get in Japan, but also because there's sort of much more of a culture around things being priced to how much, like, a general profit. Because the reason why pancakes cost so much a lot of stores is not because they're difficult to make, but because they're the biggest thing and they're the most grandiose thing and they seem like interesting, but they're really the cheapest thing on the menu. So it's just sort of pricing things by how people think they should cost, rather than like how much they actually cost, and getting a decent profit margin, rather than like in a completely explosive profit margin. So I think that's one of the reasons why. And ramen is a fairly cheap thing. You get one egg, even half an egg actually. So you get half an egg, some pork, like not even that much pork. You get some vegetables, and the noodles, which are really, really easy to make, is salt, broth. It's really, really simple stuff. It's really, really cheap. So the profit margin, they wouldn't have to go much higher, mixed with the thing that I just talked about. So it is still like a little bit more expensive than it would be if you bought it in Japan for the same quality. But it's fine. It's like $20 for a really filling bowl, and ramen just off rip, like naturally, is super super filling, which is nice just because of how heavy it is and how much salt and stuff is in it, and how much grease and oil, and yeah, it's really really filling. So you can rest assured that if you go to Artisan Ramen, you're gonna get a good filling meal that is nice. And I get the cheap stuff as well. Like $20 is the cheap one, and it's kind of small. So yeah, we went there, we got the stuff, we were just eating it. I still really suck at using chopsticks. I need to get better at that, but that's the one thing I don't like about going to the ramen shop. I feel like a fucking toddler, unable to eat his food properly because I can barely use the chopsticks because I don't know why my brain just doesn't work with them. I need to figure that shit out before we go to Japan next year. But we we lapped that shit up, and then I went home because it was very late at night, so probably should get home. It's not like we can go anywhere, do anything else. But yeah, I went home and it was like, wow, that was really weird. I think the weirdest feeling about it is it was like it was a celebration obviously, but it was just a weird feeling. It was like, I don't think I'm ever going to go to school, wear a uniform ever again. And I feel like I say wear a uniform a lot when I talk about going to school, and people are like, why do you care so much about wearing a uniform? Like, it's a fucking, you have to wear a uniform for your work. But like, the reason why I hate uniforms at school so much is because it makes me feel like a child when I'm getting home. Like, a lot of the time, like, I went to a school called King's Prep, and it was a really, really good school, but their uniform is absolutely fucking atrocious. You have to wear, like, this jockey hat. If you don't know what a jockey hat looks like, search it up. It looks fucking cancer. Just, I hate that shit. And it just made me feel, like, really demeaned. It's like putting on a clown costume, right? I don't like being disrespected based on things out of my control. I'm fine with being disrespected if you genuinely think I'm a fucking idiot. Like, if you watch my Yuri videos and go, this guy's a fucking degenerate weirdo head kid, I'm like, okay, yeah, fair enough, I guess. But if you disrespect me just for my age, I hate that so much because I don't need to explain myself here. I think you get what I'm trying to say. But and wearing uniform just made me feel like literally like a clown. It's not cool. Didn't enjoy it. There's a reason why I pretty much don't wear my uniform to the school I go to now. I just wear a shirt with the logo and I cover it with a sweatshirt. I wear sweatpants. I have my headphones on. Yes, I really dislike a uniform. So I connect it most with school because that's sort of the general feeling I get from school. School doesn't feel real. School feels like I hate it so much. I hate school, but I think the conclusion I've gone to after finishing college, for me it's college, for you it's high school, or for Americans high school, is that I'm annoyed at it, like I'm sad because of it, but I'm not sad that I did it. I'm happy that I had this isolated world, which essentially doesn't exist now, for me to do to be like cringe, to fuck up, to do all this dumb shit. So that now that I'm in the real world where my actions actually have consequences, and if I punch someone, I could get sued rather than just getting told off by the headmaster. Now that I've done all that and learned shit, I'm happy that it happened in that world where it doesn't matter anymore. Because what I mean by an isolated world that essentially doesn't exist anymore, like my class doesn't exist anymore. No one remembers me from then, and I never have to meet the people who were there ever again. Like, it essentially doesn't exist anymore. Every aspect of it is disbanded. The only thing left are photos suggesting something, and even then, it's pretty much nothing. So, yeah, I'm happy. Happy. I've been seeing that a lot around the place, and it eats at my brain. It's like a termite. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, so done with school. Happy about that. Exams left, obviously. But yeah, it was a bit sad looking at the people around the place and being like, wow, I'm never going to see some of these people ever again. And it is a bit weird because Rancid Discharge, if you haven't picked up by now, we go to the same school. So don't know if I ever explicitly said that or if I'm supposed to say that, but I don't really care. It's not like it's true anymore. I mean, it's still technically true for a whole nother month, but past that, we don't go to the same school. Oh no, we do go to the same school. So we've been going to the same school for a while. But next year, I'm leaving, they're leaving school. So we go to different schools now. And then the year after that, we join up again and go to the same university. So it's fucking weird. I don't know. It's just really strange. An update, by the way. I think I've said this, that I was thinking going to university next year. I'm gonna do like half a year of university. It's like it's kind of like university, but it's more like getting university entrance in half a year, and then doing something else for the other half. And I'm gonna work full time for the other half because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to pay for Japan. Because part-time work doesn't actually pay heaps. It pays. I should clarify. If I didn't need a new PC and I wasn't gonna go to Japan, I would be well happy with the amount of money that I get from doing part-time work. It would pay for college. I would be fine. I could pay for my housing, for travel, but because I have to pay for those things, and also I'm having these two massive purchases on the side, it's not super affordable on a part-time work amount of money. But yeah, now I'm working, as I've talked about. So I'm working at a job, and I kind of had my first real day the other day, because before then I'd been training. And if anyone came up to me to buy something, then I had to go, no, sorry, other cashier, please. But now I when people come to me, they're like, can I get this? I'm like, okay, yep. I'm the guy behind the counter, I'm the guy, it's kind of cool. And I had my first real day, and it was kind of stressful. It wasn't that bad for the first bit, because I was in a not busy time, and I was only supposed to work for 3 hours, and I was like, that's fine. That's how I no longer usually work. But then my manager came up, and she was like, yo, should I call myself Kitkat? Yo, Cat. I'll call myself Cat from now on. How does that sound? Can I get an idea of what's that like? Call myself Cat. Or like, yo, Cat. That's kind of sounds good. It's not terrible, but it's not. It's a little easy in saying KitKat because it's kind of a long name. It's like, yo, KitKat, and it sort of sounds unnatural. Yo, Cat. I'm kind of feeling sick, so can you just do my hours for me? And I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, I'm looking for more hours. I like getting more hours, getting paid. Those 2 more hours, they got me fucking $40. I'm chuffed. I'm well chuffed, bro, at the at those extra bit of monies. But so I did those hours, and everything was going fine. But because I had to do 5 hours instead of 3 hours, I had to take a mandated 30-minute break. So that was kind of cringe, but it's fine. I don't really like taking breaks, but apparently if I don't take a break, then they're technically doing like slave labor hours, and that's against the laws of New Zealand. So I mean, I'm fine taking a break if it would be illegal if I didn't, and I would get EB Games sued. But that's fine, or my manager sued probably. Yeah. So I took break, but because I took a break, my coworker who is working with me also had to take a break, and she was helping me a lot with like, if I didn't know how to do something with a customer, because there's a lot you can do at EB Games if you haven't figured it out. You can go there, you can return games, you can buy a game, you can pre-order a game, you can trade stuff in, and it's like, it's a lot, on the computer which you work on, it's just keybinds, and it's really, it's not difficult, but it's stuff that you have to remember, and I'm not very good at remembering stuff, so it's repetition, and I haven't done everything yet, so I was thinking that on my next day of work, I might just ask them I might bring like a notepad with me, and I'll ask them to tell me everything that can happen, and then so I can just come home, memorize it, like, just so I know everything, just so, I don't have to fumble while I'm there on the day working. But they had to go away for their 30-minute break, and that was fucking stressful, because the moment they did, it turned like 3:30 or something, or 3 something, and there are so many schools around where I work, and then a flood of people came in, and obviously the moment that she goes away, she's the person who's been working here for ages, she knows all the binds and shit. I'm like, they're like, I'm wondering if I could buy my pre-order game here. They said that I couldn't play it. I was just like, sorry, you're gonna have to talk to our assistant manager if you want to deal with that. And then another person came in. They're like, I bought a bag a while ago, and I was like, okay, I know how to do this one. I know how to do this. So they bought a bag online. They're coming to pick it up. Okay, I can do this one. And they're like, it's a bag and it's big. And I look in the place where we keep all the things. It's like, it's not there. It's not there. And I remember my coworker was like, if there's anything that's too big, we keep it in the storage room. Just because we've got a little cabinet where we keep the pre-bought stuff. And I'm like, oh shit. I can't leave behind the cashier without, like, you can kind of, you're not supposed to, okay, because it was just me, I'm not supposed to leave behind the cashier by myself unless I'm super certain that it's going to be safe. And there were quite a couple of people in the store when the woman was asking me this question, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't give it to you right now because it's in the storage room and I have to leave my post and I'm not supposed to do that. And she's like, oh, I just came here from hospital and I have to go back like right now or very, very soon, and I can't come back for ages, and I've been waiting weeks to get this. And I'm like, fuck, I really want to help this woman. And I'm like, look, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait for our assistant manager to get here so I can go behind. And she's like, damn. So she walks away and I'm like, fuck, that's 2 failures. That's 2 people who I just had to go, sorry, you can't do this right now. I'm fucking... And then I get a call on the phone and a dude wants to know about Nintendo Switch Lite and pre-owns, and I'm like, fuck! What am I doing? It was so stressful. It's fine though. My assistant manager came back and she did pretty much everything. I mean, I did the bag one because I had to go back and get it. That's all I needed her for, just to so I could do it. And I scanned it in. She got it. Yes, yes. You know, I'm happy. It's a really good learning experience. I keep saying this to people. I keep repeating it, but I just want to say it one last time. I'm so happy that I've got a job because it's so weird. It's so strange. The contrast that I go to school, I pay to go to school so I can learn jack shit and feel like shit, and I get paid to be at work so I can feel good about my place in society. Like, it's a complete contrast. I feel like it's so good. And to be fair, I need to say this. I feel like the only reason why I'm able to be able to be happy in a job right now is because I'm in this sort of weird state where I don't have any big mental issues right now. Like, I feel like back when I was trying to apply for a job a while ago, I had a really terrible work ethic. I wasn't super happy with life, and I feel like I wouldn't have been able to handle working at a job, and I wouldn't have been able to be responsible, and it would have been I'm really happy I didn't get a job back then, because I really thought, like, in my mind, I was like, I just need to get a job and then I start making money. I don't need to work hard. Nothing needs to happen. I essentially just tick a form and then I start making money out of nowhere. No, little kitkat, that is not how it works. You were going to get fired if you worked anywhere. So I'm happy I'm in a much more mature state where I'm able to handle working somewhere. So I'm thinking, where are we at? 27 minutes. Damn, bro, I've really said everything in the first little bit. So yeah, I've already talked about have I talked about the Beastars video? Yeah, I said that it's coming. I'm really happy with it so far. I've only started working on the script, and so far the script is good. Scripts are weird. Scripts are difficult to write because I can't tell if they're good or not. I feel like sometimes I really need to get better at figuring out the balance between, like, my own personal voice and this is difficult to say. Okay, so for instance, in reviews, there's a structure to them. There's things you have to talk about, and I feel like one thing I do in my videos is I sort of just list them off. I'm like, okay, here's what the story is. Here are the characters. Here's what the good things about it. Here are the bad things about it. Here's my... It just feels like formulaic. It's the fucking hamburger. And I don't like doing that. It's boring. It's fucking cringe. So I need to get better at not doing that because that's, as I just said, it's boring. It's not what I'm looking for. And I'll start working on the visuals soon. I'm about to finish the script. I've been working on it for a little bit today. And I think it's currently at like 1,650 words, which my normal scripts are like double that. But I'm only talking about one anime this time, which I think is admirable that I've gone this much out already. Just talking about one, considering how difficult it is for me to talk about fucking like 5 or 6 of them without... I don't know. I don't know. Oh yeah, this is what I want to talk about. Guys, I checked my YouTube today and someone unsubscribed So yeah, but now we're at 67 subs, which I don't really care. It's not a big deal. I was hoping that I would hit 69 subscribers at some point, you know, because it's funny. But it does suck when people unsubscribe, because I sort of like, I'm like, is it someone who was a frequent? Do I have to worry about that? Because, you know, I don't want to lose those people, because I enjoy those people. They're cool. The people who show, oh my god, I'm sorry, I keep hitting the microphone. You know, the people who turn up to stream, comment on all the videos and stuff, you know, watch my shit because they enjoy it. They are the cool people who are, okay, I'm being parasocial right now. Leave whenever you want. I'm going to be sad, but that's none of your business. I'm someone you've never met before, and I talk about anime porn. You don't know anything about me outside of the fact that that's what I do. That's what I have as my hobby, and everything I've talked about, which is quite a lot on this. I keep fucking hitting my microphone. On this stupid fucking podcast. I talk about this every single fucking time. I'm sorry about last episode as well, by the way. The audio for Sam is absolutely jack shit terrible. I need to explain myself. So normally what we do for the videos for the podcast is I invite him on, we find a map, we get on it, and then he records his side through OBS. I record my microphone through OBS, and then I plant the audio on top of the video footage. So yeah, the video is not actually synced with the audio. It's completely different, 3 different layers. So this time what I decided to do was like, well, I'm recording my audio, but I could just record the desktop audio of Sam talking, because there's no one else, and then he can just record his just in case. So we did that, but unfortunately what happened is, because VR chat is like a real game, or like it's a real life game. He was over there, but it was only going through this ear kind of, and it was picking my headphones, and I have stereo instead of mono, which means that this can blast full, this can blast half, you know, you understand what this means. And because he was over there, it was quieter, so it just sort of meant that it wasn't picking up fully, so it was one-to-one sharing what it had been. It's weird to say, but the audio quality was terrible, so I was like, okay, I'll just ask him for his. But what had happened, I think what had happened for his is he had doubled up his like audio. So you in OBS you can like add audio tracks and stuff of different things. I think what he'd done is he added 2 microphone audio tracks, which means that they doubled up on each other. So there was echo. He would talk and then it would talk again, which is not fun, not cool, not poggers. So unfortunately that's why the audio is so shit in that one, even though I don't mind that episode. I think I like the part at the end where I run at him and I'm like, you know, on today's the 30th episode, I forgot to say my funny line where I go, hello everyone, welcome to, I don't know what episode number this is. Oop, goofy, I'm silly goofy guy who doesn't even pay attention to his podcast. Yep, that's me. Probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. So that's unfortunate. That's why that happened. Yeah. Okay, now I'm entering the part of my mind where I don't have anything immediately that I want to talk about, because you know, I only do so much in a week, even though last episode was, so it's kind of been 2 weeks. What did I feel about again? I want to clarify in some points I made last episode, because Sam's not here, so he can't defend himself, which is normally where my points fall apart. But what I meant when I said at the end, the drum part, where I was like, the drums, they used the drums from like Japan, you know, the big ones. It's more thematically appropriate. There's less noise going on. There's less, so the band that they had before, it's like a orchestra walking band, and it sounds like shit because they're not very synced, not very, like, they're good in the sense that they know how to play their songs, but in terms of playing to a whole audience who's paying to be there, I feel like more people would find that annoying and intrusive than actually enjoyable to listen to. That's just what I feel. It's not great compared to the, and yeah, it just does not sound good, and I want to make that clear. I got nothing against those people. they're gonna come after me. They're gonna kill me. No. But no, that's I'm a free man. I'm a free man. Oh. Oh, yawning. I think I'm playing a little Suika game. I guess that's interesting. Hold on, my throat kind of hurts. I'm just gonna grab a drink of water quickly. That's nice. Yeah, so lost a subscriber. That's a shame, but at the end of the day, you know, at the end of the day, it's just about getting them back. Kind of, getting another subscriber back, not that specific person. I wonder who it was. That's always what I find interesting, is I wish people, like, I don't care if they, like, I just want to know why. I'm just interested. I don't even think I do anything with that information. I just kind of want to know, like, why was it, did you, like, because the thing about it is you have to subscribe to me, then come back to my channel at some point for some reason, and then unsubscribe. And I'm just wondering, like, well, why did you come back to my channel? Did you get, like, a video I recommended, you watch it, then you didn't like it? Because I don't really like the way that I've gained subscribers, in the sense that when I started out on YouTube, I didn't do anything, really. I uploaded a random clips, and then I uploaded a OST from Earthbound, which I did because I really liked the song, and it wasn't anywhere, and it kept getting struck down by Nintendo. So if I uploaded my own version, then I could just use that and listen to that instead. But unfortunately, that meant that people were listening to it, as makes sense, right? And I didn't think it would be a big problem, because I was like, oh, extra subscribers, so who cares? But now that I've, like, actually started doing shit on YouTube, it is kind of annoying that there's a portion of my audience who only subscribed for a single video that isn't even on my channel anymore and has nothing to do with me, and I don't like that much. And they're never gonna unsubscribe. So I just don't like that portion of my YouTube subscriber count, which is people who don't watch me, never will watch me, and are subscribed to me for some random reason or some random thing that I did. And I wish that I could just, like, cut those people out. Maybe if there was some option, this sounds really weird, but maybe I wish there was some option on YouTube to, like, cut out people who haven't watched one of your videos in, like, a year. But then that's it doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, because YouTube thrives off of freedom, thrives off of not having any sort of outside forces. You can subscribe wherever you want. You can't really get blocked on YouTube. You can watch whatever videos you want. You can comment pretty much whatever you want outside of what the creator says. But that wouldn't make sense. But so it wouldn't really make sense to unsubscribe you if you haven't watched someone for a certain amount of time. It just feels stupid. But it is a little sad and annoying to me as someone who I value the numbers on my profile, the amount of likes I have, the amount of subscribers I have, the amount of videos I have, the views on the video. I value those as not as, like, big number, better person. I sort of value them more as enjoyment. Like, I care much more about not the click-through rate, the watch time on a video, rather than how many people have actually viewed the video. Because like, I don't really like I don't really care about how many views I got if no one's actually watching the video. Like, I'll just explain a couple. Here's a couple insider notes for me. The watch time on most of my videos is actually really good. Really good is sort of, I don't know if really good's the right word, but I'd say, so I'm not going to put any graphs on, but I'll just visualize it. So it starts off really, really high at 100%, obviously, because 100 people who've clicked on the video have seen the first, like, millisecond of the video. That just makes sense. So it starts off at 100%, and then it pretty much always drops straight down, because there are a lot of people who click on and they immediately go, I don't want to watch this, or it was a misclick, or just whatever, for whatever reason. That's the most likely thing to happen, and some people actually watch the video, and that's sort of the meat. That's where the most important stuff is. And it normally like straddles around like 10%. That seems normal, because it's much higher for normal YouTubers. Like it's sort of higher. Like mine drops straight down, but for normal YouTubers it probably drops down a little and then sort of straddles down. But there's still quite a big chunk, whereas I'm like all the way down here. Like, I'll visualize with my fingers. So there's a big chunk for most YouTubers. It sort of straddles down. But or probably more like that. But for me, it drops straight down, and then it's like tattling on the small bit there, but that's normal. As I said, small YouTuber problems. The only one that sort of the only two that go past this is the 31 manga video, which for some reason has a really good watch time. I don't understand. The video is not good, and it's really boring, and like doesn't have any music behind it. The jokes aren't that funny, and I'm just sort of talking about whatever. And then it has one of the best watch times, and then one of the worst watch times is my cross-dressing video. But I think that one kind of makes sense because, yeah, it's pretty much on the floor. It's like 1 or 2%. But that one kind of makes sense in my mind because a lot of people are looking for cross-dressing videos that are like of beautiful people cross-dressing and not talking about deep shit like, is it okay to cross-dress and that stuff, which is what that video was about. So yeah, as I said, it makes sense that people would be clicking on that going, this is not what I was here for. And I feel like a video titled that time that I cross-dressed, or yeah, that time that I cross-dressed, I feel like a title like that would probably be more like a really grand, interesting story. Like, so I was hanging out at a bar that I like, and some guy came up and was like, you're really pretty. Do you cross-dress? You know, something like that. Whereas mine was just me going, my friends decided to, and then we didn't. That's pretty much what the story boils down to, which, you know, when you put it like that, isn't that interesting? isn't really that interesting. We've got 4 minutes or 3 minutes left. I've been feeling this really weird feeling over the last couple days, and it's probably a mixture of me being at home, not having shit to do, and also like just being online a lot, because a lot of the time I am online. Like, I'm online on my computer like 25 hours of the day. Probably not that. I'd say I get up more than the average gamer. I go up and walk around my house and just be active because I don't like sitting down all day. But I'm definitely sitting down and doing computer stuff for a majority of the day. And honestly, more than I'd like, because I don't really like not moving around and doing very monotonous shit. And I've just been feeling just this weird feeling of not emptiness, but definitely of like awkwardness and sort of strangeness. And I can imagine that this is the beginning of like a bad thing, a really bad thing if I continued it. But I think one remedy to this is probably just going to be making a YouTube video. Like the 1 subscriber thing only really caught me up and made me think about it because I'm in this weird state right now. Normally I wouldn't really care if I lost subscribers, fucking whatever. But sort of caught my interest because of this state that I'm in. I'm like, maybe I should But I was like, maybe I just need to make shit. Maybe I need to make this video. So I hope that people enjoy it. I hope that the shift away from lesbian manga doesn't dissuade people from watching it. But I feel like I've sort of how do I say, put up this idea, and I'm going to continue it. It's like I make videos for people who want to watch me, not for people who want to watch anything else or want to watch a specific thing. I don't want to be the Yuri manga guy. I want to be a guy who makes cool anime videos, but also has a couple videos on Yuri manga that are very knowledgeable. So I hope that the shift over doesn't alienate too many of you guys, but I'm just hoping that you enjoy the videos, or the video, even though it'll be new, it'll definitely be jarring, it'll definitely be different, because my other ones are sort of compilation videos about pieces of media which are good but sort of silly and not super serious, whereas in the Speed Stars video I sort of get very film student-y. I get very like here's why I like this shot, and here's why I like this shot, and this one's interesting, and here's why this character is a really good introspection on the whole plot, and yada yada yada. I do make jokes. I do need to add more jokes, but I feel like I'm not funny. Or not funny, but I feel like I make too many of the same jokes and stuff. It's big balancing act. Balancing act. I feel like I'm just saying buzzwords at this point. When I sit down like this, it means that I have a thing open and I'm looking at these things, which is my OBS, because I have to keep track of the time. Thank you for watching. I hope the audio was good. I can never really tell the audio is good because sometimes I check it, sometimes I don't. It's sort of just a hassle to check it because I have to go to my files and be like, bro, is it good? I hope people turn up to the live stream. Oh, and there was that fucking comment. It was like maybe just one more video. I feel like they didn't actually watch the video. I don't know. They didn't subscribe or like. So normally when people enjoy it and want more, they subscribe and like. So just yeah. Just checking the thing. Pulling it closer. Yeah, that's 45. Hope everyone enjoyed. I hope that we have a good time to be just time in general. Yep. Cool.